What's up, Entropians? Uncle Mo here with another edition of Mo's Mining Musings. Been a long time since the last video. I've been busy. As you know, you've heard from some of my previous videos. I got some things going on, some things cooking. There's a little Gangnam Dance for you. How about it? I think I was the last person to hear about that video. It had 9 billion views or whatever before I even watched it, but whatever. It's Merry Mayhem. And that's kind of a popular hunting thing here in Entropia universe on planet Calypso. I'm not a serious participant, but I'm going to do the instances just to kind of hunt. They're fun, and it takes about an hour each. You can do a solo or a team instance. And you see, I was in the Port Atlantis New Arrivals area, and you just come over here and talk to Mr. Carl Tucker. And that's how you can start the Merry Mayhem and just request the solo or team instance, whatever. Once you do that, you'll get these keys, and that'll allow you access to all the instances, which we're going to head over to right now. Usually, the people that do this are kind of your Ubers. There's 4 class levels, so anybody with any skills can sort of compete. But the way to win is to achieve the most points, and that every mob that's in this instance is assigned a certain point value. So really, the people that are just putting out crushing DPS are the ones that are just going to win, and that's how it goes. They definitely made some improvements over the way they've done it in previous years by creating this instance. I guess in years past, even if people were competing as a solo participant, they would still get a team together to round up mobs and get them halfway, and then they'd just log in and kill them and log off. And well, it never worked out really well. So, Twin Peaks here, got this kind of tree they've added here, and you got your team instances and your solo instances. And my skills qualify me for as a Category 2 player. So we're gonna head in there. I think these mobs are about as tough as your mid-level Aatrox. There's 2 types. There's a Merry Mayhem Kerberos, Merry Mayhem Oranatrox, and they really have there's not much to do with the actual mobs. They're just sort of using up their graphics, and they don't have to come up with graphics for new mobs, and that's fine. And you got this kind of little snowman guy here. And it's really just a big ring around the snowman guy, and all the mobs will populate here in about 2 minutes. So we're just going to wait for that. And I'm just going to hunt them. This is not the way to hunt competition style. If you're competing, you want to never heal. You want to have just a crap ton of DPS. And you want to mow as many of these suckers down as you can. Here I'm going to try and do a little bit of eco hunting, which is something I've been learning about. As y'all know, I've been hunting. I spent the last part of the year hunting to get hunting skills up and to learn the hunting system. And I've definitely lost some ped trying to learn this system. I haven't been the most eco hunter. I've been hunting way over my level as far as what I should be hunting. So definitely a good piece of advice for you. If you're going to start hunting, always hunt within your level, whatever your skills kind of justify. Everybody sees, and including myself, they see the big hoffboard, they see all the leviathans and things up there, and so they want to hunt those, whatever's big. And you really just have no business hunting those bigger mobs without some higher skills. The level of hit points you have is a big deal. I think I've only got 134. That's nothing. You really want 190, 200 points, hit points, to really start thinking about some of the tougher things. Your evade profession is a big deal, and that's tough to level. There's some good iron missions on Calypso, and on Arcadia as well, that'll help you sort of give you some rewards as an evade chip. That's one of the best ways to level up your evade. Merry Mayhem Kerberos on the left here. On the right-hand side is your Oranatrox. The Oranatrox are tougher. They loot a little better, so that's what I'm going for. We could hunt these guys on the left. They're worth 1 point. These guys on the right are worth 2. These are easier to kill. These are tougher. You'll take longer on them. And that's the decision, sort of the decision you're presented with. So, why have I been absent? Well, there's some personal reasons and some in-game reasons, which I'll just go ahead and share with you. Personal, I've been sort of doing a class at work, which has allowed me to go to a different job. And now that I finally have that job, I'm working less hours and I'll have more time to devote to the game and other things. So for a while there, I was working full-time and going to school. I'm like 37 years old. I'm not young where I can be just doing that kind of thing anymore. I don't remember how these kids did it in college, you know, where they would just go to school and work 2 jobs, blah, 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 blah. I can't do it anymore. I did it for 11 weeks. I did my time. So good news is I'm in a much better job now. And so more time to devote to hopefully videos and the game. I should mention real quick, I'm in Jarhead armor with 4A plates. I could probably do just with the Jarhead armor only and be fine, but I want to heal a little bit less and hunt a little bit more. So, and that seems to be just a, you know, you can see I'm getting hit for 1.2, 4.2 damage. That's exactly where you want to be. Never want to be overprotecting, because you're wasting money that way. If you're always seeing 1 damage, 1 damage, 1 damage coming up, you need to go to a lesser armor set because you're overprotecting. So, looting on these guys, you know, it's been alright. You know, we're doing the level 2s. They don't hop as global as much as the level 3 and 4s, but they're easier to do. So, if you're a big fan of seeing swirlies, you're not going to see a whole lot of them in the level 2 instances here. Anyways, I'm bouncing around. Just more where I've been. I know I've been talking a lot about working out and things like that. I've been really sucking at that lately. So that's something I'm going to have to redevote myself to. Just getting in, like I said, it was... you hate to make excuses when you're working out and then you stop, which I always tend to do. I got to stop doing that crap, so I got to get back into it. It just got to be too much there for a while, personally. So too much going on. These mobs will repopulate too, right where I'm standing. So we're gonna move more towards the center. New job, yeah, new project I'm working on, which I can't talk too much about right now, but it's definitely related to Entropia, and it's going to be very cool. I will get you more information on that when I can, but that's another thing that's also been eating up some personal time, trying to get this thing kick-started. So, got some very cool stuff related to Planet Arcadia that is in development right now, so... That'll hopefully be an exciting year for Planet Arcadia next year. I consider myself to be an Arcadian, but Mindark's sort of, they've been really slow letting David Dobson and his team implement the things that they want to. The balance team wants to make sure everything's, you know, quite balanced for the entire game, which is understandable, but on the other hand, when Mindark kind of gets their revenue from Planet Calypso, you know, it's a little bit tough to look at it as a balanced team, or as opposed to a team that's just trying to keep the money geared towards Planet Calypso. So definitely we're looking for the balanced team to sort of let Dave Dobson implement the things that he wants. We definitely got treasure hunting in this year, and some cool hunting instances, but the hunting instances over there pay out in Arcoins, and there's just nothing to spend them on right now. The Arcoin vendors are not yet activated, so you kind of got a system that's been implemented over there that's pointless. So it's something that Mindark's really going to need to let David run with here. You should be looking for, I believe you released, there's going to be a nice Arcadian update probably in February, so Not as soon as we would like, but it'll be soon enough. It'll be here before you know it. So hopefully that'll be really cool, and I'll be able to get back to Planet Arcadia, what I consider home, and hang out there a lot more. You know, I talked about creating a society, I think, in a couple of my past videos. I decided to go against that. I didn't like the idea. There's too many people I liked in the Antes here, so I went ahead and joined them. And very happy there. Very laid-back society, cool people. And get to hang out with some of the people that I pretty much already get to hang out with in the EFA's Mumble Chat, so loved it there. Whoops. And now we need to pull up to the side here. These mobs are going to repopulate. And this is just a big kind of donut around this big snowman guy here. Alright. So. So, hunting changes. We definitely had a ton of hunting changes in this game. Well, they're changes related hunting, I should say. A lot of the loot was changed. So, theoretically, you're supposed to see a lot less no looters. Which a lot of times you'll kill mobs and you'll get 0 loot a lot. And then on some mobs you get globals and hops and things like that. So, it looks like they've sort of flatlined that system and added some new loot. The problem that's been in the meantime is that all the weapons that would drop that were sort of staples and standard limited weapons for hunters, those went away. And the new ones that were added, well, they just never reached the market yet because they haven't dropped to crafters yet, or people haven't found the right mobs. So we got to this point in the game where the limited weapons we were using were gone. There was nothing to replace them with yet. And so, as a hunter, you're looking for some weapons on the market to hunt with, and there's just nothing there that was cheap or reasonably priced. So, I certainly just had to take a break from hunting because, I can't be paying 140, 150% markup for weaponry. The other option is to get what's called a non-SIB unlimited weapon. Most of the unlimited weapons nowadays, you have to be like level 90 to use them in all your skills to really get max benefit. You don't have to be there, but the minimum damage sort of falls off. I can give you an example of that here with the Marber Bravo. This is the Marber Bravo. This is a tagging weapon. Let's pull up the stats here real quick. And as you can see, I'm supposed to be doing 56.5 to 113 damage. And instead, I'm only doing 34.9 to 113 damage. Now, I'm not too concerned about it. This weapon, the purpose of this weapon is to just tag mobs and bring them in. So, but you can imagine that if you were trying to use this as a regular hunting weapon or a weapon of this style, this DPS that you're losing here is going to be quite costly over time, and it may not make up for the markup that you pay for limited weaponry. So there's other weapons that don't have that SIB penalty, but the TT value of these weapons, you'll be able to recognize them in game because the TT value will be somewhere in the 4,000 ped range, 5,000 ped. Sometimes they'll start off at 10,000 ped. There'll be these huge TT valued guns. So right now I'm just not in a position to make a $1,500 to $4,000 commitment just to purchase a weapon like that just to hunt. I'd like to be there one day. I'm not there yet. So I got other things cooking that I'd like the ped to go towards. So it just puts you, as a hunter, it puts you in a tough spot. You either need to find good cheap markup limited weaponry, or you need to get into an unlimited weapon that you can use with your skills, and that's tough to do right now. The market is filling up, so I think we just need to give it a little time to really kind of fill up and let the crafters get some blueprints dropped, get some new weapons made. A lot of the mobs are dropping some of the newer weapons that are supposed to replace some of the SIB gaps in game. And for those of you that aren't sure what that's referring to, there was a lot of weapons in game where if you were at a certain skill level, you were just sort of in this weird gap where either you were forced to use a really low weapon, low DPS weapon for your skill level, or try and use a higher one at a penalty. And so Mindrek sort of filled in. Shit. Well, this happens. That's another thing I've been concentrating on as a hunter, not taking on more than one mob at once. That was kind of an accident. So you see in some of my previous videos, I'll be doing the Aatrox events and tanking 5 or 6 mobs, which is just not eco. It's your armor's taking all this damage unnecessarily. So one thing I've been working on as a player, as a hunter, is quote unquote eco hunting, which means you're trying to put out the most damage for the least amount of ped and get the most loot for the least amount of ped. So it makes a difference. And that's really oversimplifying things, but that's the general idea. I think something's following me here. I'll do a little Kirby here. Like I said, I'm going way slow. We're on a timer here, as you can see. I'm sure the professionals are just they'll be pouring through these mobs here. So I am in no way competitive as far as this as a competition. I'm just doing the mobs because just for the straight up loot, just to see if I can get a nice looter, and to say I participated in Merry Mayhem for once. Definitely looking to get back into mining at some point. I'm still trying to finish my goals with hunting. And I'll be honest, it's drained a bit of the ped card. A lot of my net worth has gone down just because the value of skills have gone down. The value of unlimited blueprints has gone down with reference to mining ant blueprints. Some of those investments I've made have gone down in value. So my overall net worth compared to my deposits is definitely down. And that's just the nature of the game. You really got to be able to adapt and have regular sources of income. I was doing quite well mining. I was making money at that. So it's something I need to get back into. So if you're hunting right now, you definitely need to hit the market and just kind of really just look at all these new weapons. There's a ton of them. For this particular instance, I'm using an Anemic Enigma L1, which is pretty decent damage. And I don't even have my damn... No wonder this is going slow. I got a beast... what do you call it? Enhancer. I'm losing my mind here. Oh yeah, didn't have that in there, so that's in now, and it does pretty decent damage. I was wondering why we're going so slow here. Whoops. I'd like to get into a Dante amp one of these days. That's your BLP weapon amplifier of choice. As far as if you're an eco hunter, they run in the 2,000 ped range. So I'll definitely get into one of those at some point. But I was just I'm waiting to make decisions because I'm trying to see what's going to pan out. My initial idea was to get into use an Apis. So that was a standard weapon of choice with the Dante amplifier. But those have gone way up in price. Well, maybe not way up, but they've definitely increased into the 128% range. One of the parts that drops from mobs in order to make them has become more rare. The ATAUs for those in game. I think they transferred them to space mobs. I heard that was the rumor. So that might be something to check out. I picked up 3 of these assholes. Yeah, This is the tough part about hunting on the side. You run into these thick trees and you can't see anything. And I'm making a video, so I'm not really paying attention very much. Well, at any rate, so yeah, it's been tough hunting, tough to find good weapons, but I think the market is starting to kind of develop a little bit. And there's some weapons dropping that'll probably be in my range. I've been hunting for the purpose of going after the big evade ship, some Rextolem mobs in game, and that's just way over my skill level. I never should have started that. I should have finished on some much easier mobs first. I don't have the skills for it, but I've been doing it anyways. So I think overall I've been taking a loss there. So don't do that. If you're going to level up as a hunter, it's going to be a long, tedious process. Stay within mobs that you can hunt well. At some point, a lot of hunters, they just want to go without any armor at all, or just the adjusted pixie. So if you can do that, definitely do that. You know, I've been in situations where I've been using healers and buying Spartacus armor with 5B plates, just to be able to do what I want to do, and it's just not eco. It's going to cost you a lot of money. You're not going to get it back unless you hoff real big. So, I guess don't do that. And anyway, 40 minutes to go. At about the 15-minute level, the Yule bot will spawn here. It's a big, ugly-looking robot. Every time I kill the damn thing, it's got a lot of hit points, but I just never seem to global off of it. So hopefully we'll get lucky for you on this vid here. You guys know how bad I do when I'm filming things. Just never be much. So yeah, 2013, you know, Mindex put out a letter of what they want to do. It's getting kind of frustrating with these guys. I love the game. I'm not going to stop playing, but like any MMO, I wish some of the developers would do things differently. And it just seems to me like their focus isn't quite where it should be. But they've definitely made some good changes. Some of the changes, particularly with hunting, have been for the better, I think. But it's just certain basic things that they kind of lack on. If you have a support case, for instance, it can take a long time to get handled if your avatar gets stuck somewhere or something like that. Issues with space right now. That's been kind of a big debate on the forums, what to do with it. Right now, all of space is it's basically, it's called, you know, it's PvP4. It's lootable PvP, and nobody wants to go up there because they just don't want to get shot down by pirates and lose all their loot. So that's an issue. You know, we want to keep the motherships and privateers valuable. That's part of what their value is providing a service to warp you around from planet to planet. Safely. And you know, it just seems to me that Mindark would do a little better in space if they would provide some areas where you could hunt without getting looted, but maybe have to travel through lootable areas to get it to a safe area. Because as of right now, nobody wants a space hunt. There's not many people up there. The only real game up there is you got a few limited number of pirates, and the only other people up there are people that are traveling around on motherships. So It's something Mind Arc is going to work on this year. We're going to have to see how they're going to develop it. Right now, you can log off on a mothership or a privateer and warp to another planet, log back into the game, and all your loot will be perfectly safe. You log right into a safe area. There's talk about potentially getting rid of that idea where you'd have to stay logged into the game. Oops. In order to travel from planet to planet, which some people are in favor of, some people are against. I'm against that idea. I think it'll hurt what interplanetary economy we have as it is. There's just too many players that just don't want to risk their loot. You know, we're talking about a lot of money here, and nobody wants to put that at risk. Just traveling planet to planet. You know, it's just not something that people are willing to do. It's a little tough to decide how to handle it, because you still want to have motherships and privateers be valuable, but you also want to bring more people into the space game. And with this game and any other MMO, most people just don't like the PvP. They just don't. It's a fact of life. I do like the PvP, but in PvP areas. I was kind of raised on Dark Age of Camelot and EVE Online, so if I wanted to just PvE, I could do that. If I wanted to, PvP, you would go into those areas. And with those two MMOs, you could certainly do that. So I feel it should be the same way, I guess, with space. You know, let's have some areas that are PvP with some better loot, maybe. Some places that are not lootable PvP. Maybe with some loot that's not quite as good, just to get people up there hunting in space. Yeah. And I don't know. I think that would work. Probably heard my phone going off in the background. I'm blowing up here, folks. Marketing to new players, that's something that Mind Arc's been talking about. They want to get some newer players into the game with some new player packages. I really wish they'd go to kind of what some of the poker sites did back in the day and offer like deposit bonuses, you know. The way poker sites used to do it is you would deposit $600, you'd play a certain amount of points, and you could get a $600 bonus. But you would have to play the game, obviously, to get that bonus, and you get that over time incrementally. And I think that could work here in Entropia. Allow people to deposit up to $500. They could get $500 in free ped, but they would have to hunt or mine or cycle peds somehow in order to get that. And they could do that via a mission system, complete so many missions, worth so many points, and get a deposit bonus. I think there's definitely a way that they could work that out so Mind Arc's not really losing money, get people into the game. And Mind Arc's going to get that money back with their microtransactions and things of that nature. So it would be nice to see something like that. It's probably never going to happen, but what it is what it is, folks. I don't think we've had any swirlies yet. So folks, what I'm going to go ahead and do is pause the video at this point. I'm going to bring it back here at about the 10-minute mark. We'll do the Yule bot, finish up the instance and some of my thoughts on the new year. So hang on just a minute, I'll be right back. Alright, we're back in action here with about 20 minutes left to go in the instance. So sorry for the delay, the pause there, but I needed to address a couple phone calls I had from work. They're always bothering you on your day off. What is that? It's like the day after Christmas. I had to work Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, and they wanted to come in the day after. It's like, come on now, guys. Let me have a little This is like my Christmas me time, I guess. Making this video for you guys is what I get to do for Christmas. Kind of sad, huh? That's all right. I enjoy doing them. I wish I would have done a bunch more. And I know it's been at least a month since my last vid, so a lot of people are always sending me tells saying they like the vids. I really appreciate y'all watching them, and I will try to be diligent and get you some more here. I know I keep saying that, but as y'all know, just going through a tough time personally, but things are looking up. I'll be taking a little vacation, going to the Bahamas January 4th through the 16th, so that's going to be fun. It's a working vacation, and it's a job that I really enjoy doing. So, yeah, it's kind of cool. Poker Stars is a poker tournament out there, and I go work that and make some money, and they pay for your stay out there and take really good care of you. So, you get to go to that Atlantis place. Have you seen that on TV? With all the water slides and stuff. It's fun. It's if you have to go there, it's like $300 a night. I could probably never afford that, but it really is quite enjoyable. If you can ever get out there, give it a shot. I highly recommend it. So just looking to hatch the Yule bot here, kill that, and finish up this instance. You know, I probably go through about 200, 250 ped worth of ammo and decay to complete this thing. So the returns so far haven't been good, but I've only done a few of them. I don't know, I'd like to get in all 30. You get 30 keys. So we'll see if I can get that in or not. And right around now's the time when more mobs are just going to drop right on top of you. So you really got to stay to the side, unless you're competing and you don't care, because you're in hefty armor and you got a cannon. It'd be nice to see some vids of people that are actually serious about competing in this. What their setup is, though, they probably, it might be a trade secret type deal. Personally, I'd want a big gun with a big evil amp and some nice hefty armor. Now this Jarhead with 4A is working real well though. I'm glad I bought the Jarhead set. That's just a good all-around set. It's kind of like the Gremlin. It's just a set that you can use on a lot of different types of mobs. And it's just generally good stuff. That's this kind of gray looking stuff here. Gremlin armor, very popular armor. Get yourself an unlimited set. If you're all serious about hunting this armor will last you forever. You can use it on a bunch of different stuff. It's got some nice acid protection, which you're going to need. Tough to find good armor with acid protection. That's one of the main rewards for Merry Mayhem is the Merry Mayhem armor pieces, which they're releasing one at a time, one per year. I think this is the 5th piece they're releasing. So in 2 more years after this, you probably see some full sets out there. But it's just got awesome stats and awesome acid protection. And a lot of mobs these days are coming with acid damage, and there's not a whole lot of armor out there that can deal with it particularly well. Serum armor is kind of an old style limited armor that you might have seen, but that just doesn't really get made very much anymore. So it's tough to find it, tough to buy it, but that's not bad. Gremlin's probably your standard. Y'all can pipe in and comment if you think, God damn it. Sometimes I hit the wrong button in this game. There we go, we'll heal up. Using a level, what is it, 6 regen chip? I thought I had a 5. I need to be finishing up the 5. The level 5 I have maxed out. That's pretty good. It's a regeneration mind force chip. Heals 33 to 44, 22 per minute. The 6 goes up to 37.5 and 50. I'm not quite maxed on that, but close enough where I don't mind using the damn thing. So, but I really wanted to use up the level 5 chip. Let me finish. Let me make a switch here. I see what I did. I really do like the GUI in this game. It's so customizable. So at any minute, oh, we missed the ground shaking part. Well, here's the Yule bot. I don't know if it got on video or not, but the ground starts shaking, you know, like earthquake style, and then this guy appears. I'm going to throw on some Spartacus with 5Bs, just huge armor that does awesome protection. This guy hits pretty damn hard. He's got a lot of hit points. You can see some of the protection levels there. Impact cut stab is in the 40s and 50s with 5B, so this thing won't be able to do much against us. And for fun, we'll go ahead and switch up to an Apis. Let's look at the market value on these things lately. Yeah, 129%, 134. Well, that's for tier 2. Let's just bump it down. Yeah, 131% for these weapons now. And this was a staple weapon for Entropians for so long, but I just don't think it can be at that markup. Gonna need some other options. It's too bad. It's a great weapon. Oops, let's switch up to break it out here. Yeah, great weapon, and some people are gonna have to find some alternatives. This guy's monstrous. Look at that. I keep using the wrong weapon here, folks. I'm not doing very good. I haven't even started drinking yet. Playing this bad. So yeah, as you can see, this guy's going down pretty slow. I would love a global or a Hoff here, folks. Love to see this guy pop something nice. You can probably see the globals and Hoffs that have been coming up here. A lot of, you'll see the S-2, that means we're in level 2 instance, solo 2. And, you know, most of the globals and Hoffs are in the level 3 and level 4 instances. And that's cool, you know. Like I said, I've been hunting over my level too much lately as it is. And you're just giving up too much ped trying to protect yourself when other players can hunt the same mob for less money. And, that's the name of the game in hunting. Trying desperately to find mobs that have some sort of decent markup loot and something that you can do quite cheap. Most of the loot in this instance has been just kind of your standard garbage. Mostly TT food. I'll craft a bunch of stuff with this. I think I got a 1-ped knife that I sold. So nothing really special. There's definitely some new loot. Let's see what this guy drops. And just your standard robot garbage. 7-ped. And that was a 10-ped mob. Boo! I definitely like a little more for how much firepower that thing takes. Got these cool little macros that Mindarch's put in. Create item set armor, create item set equipped, where you can just transfer armor sets back and forth. The only minor complaint I have with them is that you can't like swap from a jarhead with 5Bs to a jarhead with 4As instantaneously. That you would have to do manually as far as the plates. So just a bit of a minor complaint. I'm sure they'll fix that at some point, but really to be able to put on a full set of armor and in just one click of the button, it is really nice. And if you ever need to unequip it, you can just right click on that icon and click on equip. So it definitely is a time saver, as opposed to having to equip and unequip each individual armor piece. So we're enjoying that. Good job, Minder. I think by the time all is said and done, I've gotten through somewhere in the 80 mob range or so. Pretty dismal if you're talking about trying to compete in this competition, which I'm not. I'm sure there's guys out there. Whoop, there's a spawn. See, it'll spawn like 10 of these guys right on top of you. You just gotta back to the middle and hope you only aggro one. And I've got 3 or 4 coming. Sweet. This game gets frustrating sometimes. There's no real good place to stand in this instance. But I think as far as the competition goes, the idea is just to tank a bunch of these and kill them all as quickly as possible. So eco hunting and competing in this competition is just not going to happen. Maybe it will to some level, but not not totally. And I think I forgot to put my amp back in to the regular weapon. So let's do that now, if I can manage to not die. Some weapons to look for on market. I'm in about the 30 professional level as far as hunting. These EMIC Enigmas are good. There's definitely a bunch of handguns to choose from. Although a lot of the really cool weapons now are for your level 60, level 75, level 90 profession characters, which is just a few in the game. But they've been complaining that they've had nothing to use in game for a while, and rightfully so. So they needed something. For your lower level handguns, your Breer P5As, they've gone up in price, but you can still find a few in the 110, 112% range for markup. The Enigmas are good. You're not going to find any of those ISIS HL6s anymore at a cheap rate. Your Herman ASI series will be something to look for, particularly if you're on Arcadia. The ASI 30 would be something good to use in the 120% markup range. Not much in the way of carbines. If you're a laser weapon user, there's, at least at my skill level. Now, below and above, there might be some great items, and you're welcome to post comments on them if you like. Hell, if you got a store or something you want to advertise, post a comment if you're selling a certain weapon cheap. We'd love to hear about it. But I think the way to go for a while, if you're just going to level up hunting, would be to use a BLP rifle with a laser handgun of some sort. So that way you're leveling up BLP and laser at the same time, and you're leveling up your rifle skills and handgun skills at the same time. You want to keep those pretty equitable. Equitable? All those Banff series shotguns I liked. These are real tough to find now. They were a dime a dozen. And either someone's just scooping them up, buying them up, or they're just not dropping as much. I'm not sure which. Your ISIS series, like the CB24, have definitely gone up in price. But they're still reasonable. You know, bottom line is, if you're going to be a hunter, a serious hunter, you've got to get into an unlimited weapon of some sort, and I think you're looking at possibly $1,000 to $1,500 investment, which stinks, but you're going to end up spending that much anyways. So that's something to look into. But we'll see what happens. The market's still a little fresh as far as all these weapon drops are. A lot of the crafters are still making new discoveries, and we just got to see what drops. Give the crafters time to fill in the gaps. And you know, anytime something's new, real world or in game here, it's going to be expensive to start out, and then when it gets more common, it'll get cheaper. So, hunting, like I said, is just something I haven't been doing a whole lot of. But there's some goals I wanted to finish. I think, for me personally, getting back into some mining for a little while is going to be something I'll be taking a serious look at. Where to mine? You know, I haven't checked out the economy on Planet Arcadia in so long. I'm not sure what's going on there these days. So I'm definitely going to need to head home and figure that out. A lot of the mining love was given to Entropia lately, as far as transferring Nexarium over there, although I think that's tapered off a bit. But I think Entropia is still one of the places to be as far as mining goes. A lot of the FOMA instances, the market just hasn't been there on some of those materials for a while. I think you'd do better off in Hell, markup-wise. But I think there's still some good stuff to find on FOMA, too. Alice Gel got really expensive there for a while. They did something with that. I'm not sure if they reduced how much it dropped. I know that was real common up in FOMA, and I still see it off on occasion in FOMA, but not as much. So I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what they do with that. And if you guys know, let me know. I think it was moved a bit to Arcadia. That was some of the rumor on Alice Gel. But yeah, Mindark's kind of getting their hands into the loot. They're moving things around, and it almost seems like they're doing it a bit haphazardly. Like, you know, the Nexarium move, they kind of took most of it off of Oyster Island and then moved it to Entropia to get more miners to go there. And it just seemed like a kind of an artificial, obvious change that wasn't really necessary. You know, it was just sort of a gift for Never Die. And it just didn't make a lot of sense. It's once you give players something, it's real difficult to take it away. So when you take things away from players, particularly if they have a favorite thing that they like to do, that can definitely cause people to quit. And you've got to be flexible in this game. You've got to make adjustments. Things do change over time, and they do rapidly. But when you really start throwing off kind of people's mainstays as far as their income, you get some of the rage quitters and people that just want to cash out. So it would be nice if they kind of added things to the game without taking away other areas. But that's a whole big argument, whole big chat. So we're coming down to the last minute here. You know, give some of the Merry Mayhem instances a try. Even if you're really low level, the level ones would be just damn easy to do, I'm sure. And they've been kind of fun. They come in nice hour chunks. So you can kind of do a hunting session and then go take a break, call it good. So sort of a summary, big announcement coming up. When I can tell you about projects that are going on. Definitely got something in the works that I'm helping out with. Can't wait to reveal it to you guys. We're going to kill one more mob here. See if we can get this done in a minute. As far as the future of the show, I know I've got to pick up the slack as far as making videos. But I really need to see what direction this game's going. And for a while there, it was in a bad spot hunting wise, which is what I was focusing on. So I just kind of took a little break, and we're gonna let the market sort of resolve itself. You know, these CLDs have been kind of I won't say hurting the market. You know, the CLDs, the Calypso Landides are very popular, but you know, when you think about it, when they sold half of them, that was 30 million PED that was just taken out of the economy. That people were no longer cycling; they just bought the CLDs and let the PEDs sit while they're collecting their little 7 PED dividends every week, and that's a big deal. You can still see the effects on the market. Metal residue is up to 111% for buy orders, which is outrageous. It was at 108 solid, and that's kind of a key economic factor I look at. So I did 62 mobs. I was not very focused on that instances at all. I'm sure the top level hunters are doing 4 or 5 times that. But there it is. That was Merry Mayhem, and it's kind of a fun thing that's done every year. Give it a shot. If you're going to be serious about it, talk to some of the serious hunters first. They'll probably help you out. But you're going to need to get into a serious weapon with an appropriate level armor where you're not healing very much, and you just want to mow through those mobs. It's not going to be very eco, but you're really just shooting for the rewards in the end. Personally, I'm just going to do it eco style, put in my 30 instances, and see what happens. So if there's a reward for me or something, I'll share that with y'all later. But glad to do another video for you guys, and I always promise that I'll keep them coming. I really will try. But with some other things I got going on, it's been a little tough. Cool things are coming up in this game, and more to come. All right, folks, y'all take care. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Thank you very much for watching this show, and subscribe if you haven't already. For those of you that have subscribed and kind of hung in there with the channel, even during the dead times, I really appreciate y'all very much. And more to come in 2013. Bye now.